Good morning and welcome to Today in LA. I'm Mike Amos, hoping that you're doing well today on a Friday. Thank goodness it's Friday as we head into the weekend. Of course, we've got a big weekend planned. Of course, the big 4th of July celebration in downtown Brundage tomorrow morning. Let's go to our phones this morning. Good morning. You're on Today in LA. How you doing?
Hey, morning.
We're coming to you on Facebook across the country, across the world, and excited about being here on a Friday. And you calling from the beach? What's going on?
Yeah, just calling from Graton Beach, Florida, watching people run and exercise outside my window as we speak.
Can you tell much difference in the red bar being there or not being there?
I mean, you can definitely tell a huge difference in traffic, but you got, a lot of people that, still come down that just want to use the beach down here because the beach is so pretty. And then you have the lake that flows, out to the Gulf of Mexico, and sometimes the Gulf of Mexico flows into the lake. So
is it fresh water?
Oh, it's brackish water. So, I mean, if you have little kids, it's kind of like a little sanctuary area as far as you don't have to worry about waves and
the water is clean to swim in. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean it's clean to swim in. They test it all the time.
Yeah.
The blue crabs are fun to catch for the little kids, and then they catch little minnows and stuff like that. And then sometimes it's just absolutely just crystal clear. I mean, almost like a gigantic swimming pool. So it's pretty cool to have.
Yeah.
Having little ones that don't make you stress out near as much as the waves do.
Do they still bus them down there? They used to come down there by bus.
I mean, they used to do that with the red bar, but they don't do it with Taringo. I mean, Taringo has a pretty good crowd, but it's more of a bar crowd than it is a food crowd. I wouldn't really say their food's anything incredible, but I will say this week I was down in Panama City Beach yesterday and then drove back. I was having to go hit Target and some other places, and man, it's packed down here right now. There's so many people everywhere.
Yeah. Of course, the 4th week, next week, will be even probably more people down there.
Next week, you just want to go find a place to hide pretty much down here. I mean, you want to basically hit the grocery stores, and then when you do get out, just get out late in the afternoon or early in the morning to go somewhere.
Yeah. No question about it. We had a big 7-on-7 tournament held yesterday at the Troy University practice field, and teams from all over Southeast Alabama were there, and they were still going at it after 9:30 last night. They were still going at it, Mike. Can you believe that? And it was so hot. And at the same time, they had another big baseball tournament this week, and guys, like I said, these are travel teams from all over the country, and some of them have some heavy sponsors,
Yeah, I went to, went by Pier Park yesterday, and of course, Panama City Beach has those softball and baseball fields that are just massive out there, and it was just packed almost to the road with cars, so they must have some kind of big tournament going on down there as well.
I'm sure they do. Troy Bales, probably one of the top softball teams in the whole state of Alabama, won again. They won the district tournament just by a grand total of something like, I want to say 80 runs to 14 runs total in the tournament. They're really a good unit, and they're going to head now to the state tournament, and no telling how good this bunch is going to end up being, Mike. They're really good. They're well coached, and I'm going to call their names out to the people this morning. This is a good look at them, and it's the Troy Bales every year are in the state tournament and have chances to go to the national tournaments. They're an outstanding girls softball team from here in Troy, and again, I want to take a brief period of time to announce who some of these girls are. And then another thing, the Pike Liberal Arts cheerleaders win again. The state championship belongs to the Pike Liberal Arts Patriots. I want to say 7 years in a row they have won the state competition, but this year it was tougher competition than ever because it was at Troy University's cheer camp, and had public and private schools here. And Pike Liberal Arts girls win again. I'm going to call their names out quickly this morning. Aylin Wilson, Sydney Scott, Sarah Braden, Garrett, Haley Sconyers, Inslee Eakes, Ellie Stevens, Kate Nelson, Caroline Sin, Tate Gardner, Ava Leverett, Emma Sanders, Nikki Hooper, and Dee Allen, Ellie Kate Gunner, Porter Langford, Ansley Adams, Izzy Sanders, Claire Lindsay, Reagan Brown, Dana Dawson, Abby K. Terry, and Addie Garrett. And that is these are varsity and junior varsity cheerleaders. Both of them won the state competition. The varsity, of course, again, just dominates with one of the top cheerleader groups in the country, I'm telling you. And they win again, like I said, for the 7th straight year.
So who is the cheerleading coach at Pike Liberal Arts?
Well, one of them is Katie Scott, and another one is Hannah Hickson Jordan.
Katie Scott was on a lot of good Charles Henderson cheerleading squads.
Yeah. Ansley Adams and the Pike Liberal Arts cheerleaders took home the camp championship at Troy University on Thursday, which was a great honor. And
I didn't know private school competed against public schools in cheering, but maybe they do.
Evidently they do. You know, they both went to the same camp. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Then the junior varsity, did the same thing, and they're well coached. It's just a beautiful group of girls that just believe in cheerleading. It's a big school for cheerleading, Pike Liberal Arts, and I'm counting right here. This is junior varsity and varsity: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22 girls on the cheerleading squads. I think that's varsity and junior varsity, and I know the people out at Pike are real proud of them. We want to mention now the Troy Bales under Coach Scott Reeder. Boy, he's an excellent coach, Mike. And like I said, in district play, they outscored their opponent over 80 runs and over 60 hits in 5 games. So they're really good again. Rita Stella Gilbreth, Sadie Leverett, Bella Malden, Mackenzie Kane, and Molly Garrett are all pitchers on that team. And I was going to try to turn it over here a minute, see if I can find some more names, because we want to recognize these girls. Let's see if they're going to do it. I don't believe they're going to do it. We're not going to be able to recognize all of these Dixie Bells, but they're really, really outstanding softball team, and we're excited that we can be a part of their success right here on Troy Cable. And
I saw they were putting the new turf down. When is that actually supposed to be finished for the new stadium?
They said
not for the new stadium, but before in the stadium.
They said by August 1st, but I believe they'll do it before that. We're going to have a picture of it on our show today.
You got to get it down because the players are going to have not August 1st. You mean July 1st?
Well, I would think it'd be
it's got to be within a few days because the team has to practice out there.
Yeah.
Or is running around. They got to be out there with the GAs and the analysts and the strength coach. So
they're also out there with on the grass. They've got plenty of room out there.
It's got to be going on right now because I saw them having pulling up the old turf as we speak.
Yeah.
There's pictures of that on TroyTrojans.com as well.
Okay, I got you. Of course, a lot going on with the 4th of July. I would love to have somebody from Brundage to give us a ring this morning and talk to us about what's going on with the Labor Day, Independence Day parade that they have every Saturday before the 4th in Brundage, and they always have a big group. In fact, they bring in the little misses from all over the southeast Alabama and northwest Florida, and it's a big show on that parade. It's a great time to be able to acknowledge those youngsters, and so big parade downtown Brundage. If you got youngsters and that you want to go out and enjoy in the parade, Saturday, tomorrow will be a good time to do it, no question about it. What else is going on, Mike?
Well, I mean, you got a lot going on as far as, you got SEC Media Days coming up soon. I was reading an article on AL.com predicting 2019 win totals for every team in the SEC. That's not counting bowl games or conference championships or anything like that. So that's interesting if you want to hear that. It's basically going over every single team in the SEC and how many wins they think they'll have.
Yeah.
They got Vanderbilt under 5, so that means Vanderbilt
won't make a bowl game.
Won't make a bowl game. Their likely wins are Northern Illinois, UNLV, East Tennessee State. That's a bunch of random games. Of course, you got likely losses: Georgia, at Purdue, LSU, at South Carolina, at Florida, and then their toss-up games are at Ole Miss, Missouri and Kentucky at home, and then at Tennessee. So basically, the skinny for the Commodores to exceed their prediction, they have to go 3-1 in their toss-up games.
They better be ready. Want to mention our good friend?
That's a really tough though. When you got to play Georgia at Purdue, LSU at South Carolina, at Florida.
Want to mention Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass right here in Troy, located at 113 Highway 231 North in Troy. And they've got a tremendous sale going on. How about $29 down, Mike? You're approved at $99 a month. How about that?
$29 down. That's just a lunch for me down here.
Yeah, and how about $99 a month? And of course, a great selection of Dodge, Chrysler, and
I
Jeep.
told my wife the other day. I said, "Man, maybe one of these days I should buy a truck." I said, "I've never driven a truck. I've never owned a truck. I've driven your truck plenty of times."
Yeah. Well, of course,
we have a beach truck down here that's 4-wheel drive, and we can drive it on the beach. And I've actually, been running a bunch of errands and stuff with it, and I actually drove the truck.
About how many miles does that truck have on it?
60,000.
Shoot, I've got 260,000 on the truck that I own. How about that? 260,000.
Yeah, well, this one's been sitting at the beach for about 15 years, so you don't have to go too far on it.
Yeah. Okay, they've got trucks. They got a long list of cars and trucks for sale at Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep. They start with the 2008 Ford F-150 for $98.97, and I guarantee you.
Ford F-150, that's at your Ford dealership. We talking about?
No, this is used cars at Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep.
That's always funny to me when you have that right next to another dealership that has that.
Yeah.
I wonder how that works. I guess it's just all trade-ins.
Well, and next to it is a Nissan Frontier, and then next to it is a Dodge Ram 1500 truck. I'll tell you right now, this Ford 150 with 90, they want 98, 97, just under $10,000. I bet if it has 60 to 70,000 miles, or even 100,000 miles, that truck, you put another 150,000 miles on it.
Yeah, you probably can.
No question, and of course, all kinds of new and used cars and trucks and SUVs today at Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep. It's a great place to shop, and great. Boy, they're dealing. I promise you, they're dealing. They got a 2-night.
He's giving a lot back to the community as well, isn't he?
Yeah, no question. He's got a Jeep Cherokee Latitude Plus, 2019 for under $20,000, and he just got this is on his used car lot, and he's got a Lexus RX 350, 2015 for $22,798.
I know for sure that's a great driving car. That's a great vehicle.
No question about it. And They've got a 4Runner, Toyota 4Runner, 2017. They just have a tremendous selection of new and used cars and trucks. And on the new side, they've got a 1500 Bighorn for just $28,477. That's a $40,000 vehicle at that price. That's a tremendous deal. Of course, we've got a big weekend for 4th of July is coming up. It's exciting times, Mike, because after the 4th, most all these coaching staffs, they'll be coming in on the 8th and getting ready to hit the field before too long. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we're excited down here. We got the Rags to Riches races this weekend, the regatta. You got all the sailboats going off of Grayton and heading over to Seagrove and back, and that's a lot of fun to go down there and see. And, of course, you know, it's one of those things with the 4th of July, you got a lot of fireworks shows. I'm sure Troy's going to have their big one. Don't they have it out at the Sportsplex? Or do they have it at the stadium? Where's the 4th of July?
They have it at the stadium. They have it at the stadium, and it's going to be a beautiful event. Thursday night.
Hadn't rained down here in a couple of weeks. Y'all been getting any rain?
Not really. We got some last week, but not this week.
I feel like that 4th of July parade rains out about every other year, and they have to do it some other time.
But of course, the Brundage Parade is one of the largest fourth parades in the state, and they do a great job. The All-Star teams are listed now. I don't even know who's who on any of these teams. Mike Trout, again, the highest paid baseball player, is already on the first team. Is that right?
I don't know. They haven't picked the All-Star team or anything yet.
Who is this DJ LeMahieu with the Yankees, second baseman? What's the deal on him?
He's got to play at LSU in college.
Yeah. How about Gary Sanchez, the catcher for the Yankees?
Plays for the Yankees. The Yankees got so many home run hitters. It's crazy.
Well, let me tell you what they've done, and I don't know what they did last night, but going into last night, the Yankees had
29 straight games with home run.
29 games with a home run, plus they were doing some a number of home runs, Mike. They had something. They were going to break a record. We were talking about that. But isn't that amazing how well they've done?
Well, they have a lot of money. They can buy a lot of top talent. So it's just one of those things where,
Well, those are major league records.
The rich get richer when you play for the Yankees usually.
Well, it is a major league baseball record, and you don't break those every day. I promise you.
Yeah, that's true.
Of course, there's a lot of other tournament teams being named as teams are trying to get ready and win a state tournament. Troy's got 3. I know they've got 4 teams in the state tournament, and then they got the Dixie Bells starting the tournament this next week. So. And then also the 6 and under. How about that, Mike? 6 and under group is also playing for a state championship. So that's not bad, is it?
The 6 and under?
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had one for that.
Oh yeah. They have a state tournament for it. It's coach pitch, under 6 years old. 6 and under. What I'm saying. And it is. Of course, a lot of, like we said, a lot of softball teams. And the girl that everybody talks about more than anybody is a Macon East Montgomery shortstop named Madison Kennedy. She finished a three-sport All-Metro MVP run. She was the MVP in 3 sports, Mike. She's a pretty good athlete, and they say she's going to play at Mississippi State. Over a 5-year period, and she started as an 8th grader, she hit 443. She had 121 doubles, 19 triples, 37 home runs, and an on-base percentage of right at 500. what a player she was, and she led Macon East to the championships in softball 3 or 4 straight years. Of course, we got a golf tournament going on right now, and we'll take a look at that. Matt Kuchar right now Brooks Koepka is the world's golf #1 player, but it doesn't give the how individuals did in the tournament yesterday.
The golf tournament in Detroit.
Yeah, they've got the PGA Tour, FedEx. Well, that's the leaders. But I'm wondering if they even.
A lot of the names I saw yesterday are not like real recognizable names up on the leaderboard.
Yeah, exactly. And I was looking at the wrong newspaper, and that's.
You got a guy named Nate Lashley. Never heard of him. He was 9 under. He's the leader up at that tournament in Detroit. After that, Peter Molinari is 8 under. Ryan Armour's 8 under. Stuart Sink is a name we know.
Oh yeah, I like Stuart Sink.
Sink shot 65, 8 under.
Stuart Sink out of Florence, Alabama, played at Georgia Tech.
The guy that won last week, who's really playing great golf, Chaz Reavy, he was 7 under, so he's only 2 back. And then your favorite golfer, Charles Hall III, is only 2 back.
Why did you say that?
Well, I mean, the guy's been playing for years out of Augusta, Georgia. It's just amazing how many years
Remember, he used to be so skinny. He used to be so skinny that he was just unhealthy looking. Now he's.
Bubba Watson's 4 under. Fowler's 4 under. Here's some more notable names. Patrick Reed's 3 under. So this is just a tournament I've never even heard of up in Detroit. I don't know if this is a new venue they're playing at or what.
It probably is.
Golf, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of getting burned out on it now. It's been going for so long. You know, they start the season now in October, and they've only got 1 major left, so I'm kind of waiting for that British Open to get here. And then after that, you got the playoffs, which is kind of fun to watch.
Yeah. Of course, another Macon East graduate, Drew Baker, played at Chipola last year, is ready to go at Auburn now. He's jumping into the big league, so congratulations to him.
Yeah, they talked about Chipola's coach possibly being a candidate for the Florida State baseball job. They ended up giving it to Mike Martin Jr., the son of Mike Martin.
Did they really do that?
Florida State.
Can you believe me? Now, he must have been a long-time assistant, you reckon?
I'm sure he was.
But, again, I was hoping that...
I think there would have been a lot of controversy if they wouldn't have done gone out, because, you know, I think Martin still wanted to be a part of the program for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Still.
No question. And, evidently
what he did as a coach winning 2,000 games, I mean, that will never, ever even come close to being broken.
Did he win 2,000 games?
Yeah, it's incredible. His record, 17 World Series appearances with no national championship.
How many years did he coach?
I think it was over 40.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. He showed himself at, before it was renamed, it was called Pacefield at the time Troy played Florida State in baseball. And he got so upset at the official, he came in there and he threw sand all over the official. Then he covered up the plate and just showed his tail, excuse my language. Troy beat him that day, and Florida State stopped playing us for a while after that.
Yeah, his record is 2,029 with 736 losses.
All right, I'm going to guess the guy behind him is the coach at Southern Cal, and the other guy is the coach at Texas. See if that.
I'll have to look and see.
And of course, there's been.
He's 75 years old, so he's around your age.
Yeah, 70. I'm just 73, and I turned 73 yesterday.
No, you're 72, man. You're not that old.
And for all you folks wishing me a happy birthday on Facebook,
you
I appreciate it.
You're not 73.
I'm 72. What did I say?
You said 73.
Oh, something's wrong with me, man. I don't know. Something's wrong with me. Want to mention
his record? So in 1980, he was 51 and 12, and then in 81, he was 56 and 23. 82, 56 and 17. 83, 55 and 18. 84, 55 and 29.
Oh God.
In 1986, he was 61 and 13.
Boy, oh boy.
I mean, he won over 50 games almost every year.
Yeah. At Florida State, great
What do you
program.
think of that as a Florida State fan? I guess I should ask some of these people down here around Creighton because there's a lot of them. I mean,
Well, I know this. The times we played
all
them.
these wins are great, and all these World Series appearances are great, but never to win a national championship is almost incredible.
Well, I'll tell you this: the time we beat them, I don't believe we beat them since. They've always beat us when we play them. When we go down there, we don't get to play them at home much, but when we go down there, most of the time we lose over the years.
Yeah, when Martin reached 1,976 career wins, he surpassed the legendary Texas coach Augie Garrido.
Yeah, Garrido, yeah. He had those great teams. And, you know, Martin, there was another great coach before Martin. Did you know that? They played in the Major League.
The stadium's named after him, Hauser.
Yeah, that's right, Hauser.
Yeah, Dick Hauser Stadium, and Hauser went on to coach the Kansas City Royals.
And just think, though, that Hauser actually coached before Martin, and Martin did all that in that period of time.
You know, it's kind of weird growing up in Troy. I was telling my wife that the other day. I was like, you know, when I went to school at Troy University, or Troy State at the time, you know, a lot of my friends from Dothan were big Florida State fans, you know, because it was so close to Dothan. And then Troy, you know, it's only 2.5 hours away, and Tuscaloosa's 2.5 hours away. It's kind of amazing you don't have more Florida State fans growing up in Troy because it is really close.
Yeah, it is. Want to appreciate Max Federal Credit Union being one of our sponsors today, and we appreciate them very much. And also Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram truck on the bypass. They got a super sale going on right now and throughout the weekend. Also, I want to mention our good friends at Bird Drugs on the corner in downtown Troy. What a great place to eat breakfast or lunch. Their milkshakes are outstanding. You reckon you in your life, let's figure something out here. You reckon how many milkshakes you've had and charged to me over the years?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, in high school and then in college, I had a lot of random girls I would take on little lunch dates there as well. So probably charged a lot. I probably have had at least, I'd say in my life, close to 100 Bird's milkshakes.
Yeah, it shows too, doesn't it?
I probably averaged about 30 a year. You know, I didn't have any, you know, my metabolism was great when I was in my 20s, and in my 30s, it's a little different in your 40s.
Yeah.
I see all these people like running, and they have these strollers where they're running with their kids in the strollers, and man, I'm just happy to push my stroller.
Mike, I can remember when the All-Star break was the most exciting time. They were going to play a baseball game on a Tuesday. You know, back then, to play a baseball game on a Tuesday, the only time you ever saw a baseball game was on Saturday. And usually it was the Yankees playing. But this was on a Tuesday, and to see these major leaguers, back then, the All-Star game was a big, big event. I remember one time Bo Gaylord, the late Bo Gaylord, and Jimmy Lawrence and Joe Griffin and myself drove over to Atlanta for the All-Star game. That was a lot of fun, and I'll always remember that.
Yeah, you know, I got to get a lot of spring trainings. You know, we went to a lot when we were growing up, and then when Brian Meadows played the Major League Baseball, I went to spring trainings a lot. And that's really, to me, the best time you can see Major League players, because it's a more laid-back environment, and I would imagine the All-Star game would kind of be the same way. Of course, you got the Home Run Derby and all that as well.
No question about it. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hey, I've got that whole...
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Hey folks, are you tired of spending hard-earned money on a gas grill only to have it burn up in less than 2 years? Not to mention burning your food. Here at Southern Grill and Patio in Troy, Alabama, we carry the Holland Grill line. They've been around since 1988, and there are people right here in Troy that have had theirs for over 20 years. These grills are guaranteed not to flare up. You can grill, steam, or smoke on your new Holland Grill today. Come see us at Southern Grill and Patio in Troy, Alabama, inside Town and Country Flooring Center.
Are you a driver trainee just finished in school and want to drive an automatic truck? Then call Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Right, Fuzzy? We have automatic trucks. That's right. And we will reimburse you for your driver training. No pets? Not at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we thought of everything. We thought of the kennel for your fuzzy friend. Right, Fuzzy? Tell them about it. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Tell them, Fuzzy.
Yeah, that's interesting. Troy commit playing at the Future Masters.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into some SEC football, we want to mention the Future Masters going on in Dothan. They're playing at the Dothan Country Club, and it says an Arizona golfer, Troy Commitment competes at FM, and tell us about that, Mike. What is that? At the Future Masters, of course, but they're both competing. The young man,
Jared Johnson. Some guy shot a 61, which is incredible.
Yeah, I want to mention this kid, Jared Johnson, is going to play for golf at Troy next year. Is playing in the Future Masters, and we'll, of course, we'll be talking more about
the kid that shot the 61.
Well, let me tell you, this is something that's just unbelievable, and this will get headlines across the country. Maxwell Ford, a young man out of Peachtree Corners, Georgia, blistered the Dothan Country Club course yesterday in the Future Masters with a 9-under par 61 in the opening round. And it's a good picture of him in today's Dothan paper. And, buddy, what a player this guy is. You can see it right there, below there. And, 61, that's got to be a course record. Let's read into it a little bit.
I mean, I would never say that when Will Matthews played golf there and is a member there.
Yeah. His playing partner was Ian Glanton of Mentor, Georgia, and he shot 2 under and thought he had shocked the world. But his playing partner, Maxwell Ford, turns around and shoots a 9-under par 61. He said, "I didn't feel like I was doing anything too special," Ford said. "I was just hitting it off the tee, keeping it close to the fairway and giving myself a chance. I was rolling it well, of course, putting it well." His bogey-free round started at number 10. He birdied 10, 11, 14, 17, and drained a 25-footer on 18 for a sizzling 30. Ford then played the front 9 with birdies on 3, 4, 6, and 8. And of course, he was making every putt, and Ford 61 was good for just a 4-shot lead, of course, over his playing partner, Ian Glanton of Mentor, Georgia. Also, a 4-shot lead over Evans Gross of Birmingham, who is in second after a 65. Andrew Sullivan of Louisville and Hunter Thompson of Calgary, Alberta, were next at 4 under 66. So isn't that something? It'd be worth driving down there, and I might just do it and watch some of this golf. This is this might be like watching another Tiger Woods up close and personal in Dothan, Mike.
Well, I mean, I know you've had a lot of great players that played in the Future Masters over the years. I'm sure Will Matthews could probably tell us the amount of pros that have come out of playing from that tournament. It is interesting that Troy's got a recruit from Arizona that's playing in it. That's kind of unique. League. How in the world they found a kid out of Arizona?
Yeah, I know it.
Don't play golf is pretty interesting recruiting.
Let's mention his name, Jared Johnson, and he is a Troy commitment from Arizona, and is playing in the Future Masters this week. So he's from Tucson, and he's at Troy now.
And of course, Tucson is where Arizona or University of Arizona is located. So
yeah, exactly.
That is interesting.
Well, Matt Terry.
We can go through the All-Star team real quick. I was looking at that. They did announce the All-Star, the starters. That's not all the actual people that'll be participating, but starting with the American League, you got catcher Gary Sanchez, Yankees. First baseman Carlos Santana of the Indians, DJ LeMahieu out of LSU for the Yankees. Jorge Polanco for the Twins, Alex Bregman plays for the Astros. He also played at LSU. Mike Trout for the Angels, George Springer for the Astros, Michael Brantley from the Astros, and Hunter Pence for the Rangers. Then your starters out of the National League are Wilson Contreras of the Cubs. He's a catcher. One of my favorite players, Freddie Freeman for the Braves, has played lights out. He's got 22 home runs. Ketel Marte, second baseman for the D-backs, shortstop Javier Baez for the Cubs. Then you got Nolan Arenado, third baseman for the Rockies, Christian Yelich. He's already got 29 home runs for the Brewers outfielder. Cody Bellinger, he's got 26 home runs for the Dodgers. And then you got Ronald Acuna Jr., the 20-year-old for the Braves, who's a phenom center fielder. He's got 19 home runs. So that's your starting National League and American League All-Stars coming up.
That is something. I didn't know hardly any of those people. Isn't that a shame?
Baseball's interesting. I mean, I watch as much as I can, or I keep up with it on my phone. But I enjoyed watching that College World Series this year for some reason more than normal. I guess maybe because there's 4 SEC teams, and my wife's a Mississippi State grad, and baseball's big. Was big in Starkville, and I kind of was following them a little bit. And of course, we were following Auburn, I guess, as well. So
go to your record books. Let's see what I can do. Just point blank, my computer's got gray hair around it, and it's old and depleted. But let's see what I can do. Maybe a 1957 or 58 All-Star team. You want me to do that? All right, let's go 60. Let's go 1960. The American League All-Star lineup. In center field would be Mickey Mantle. Playing second base would be Bobby Richardson on the All-Star team. The shortstop for the American League All-Stars would be, in 1960, would be, oh boy, I might need to rest on that. The All-Star third baseman would be Al Rosen. The All-Star catcher would be Yogi Berra. The All-Star first baseman would be, for the American League, oh boy, help me out, Jim Gentile with Baltimore. Let's put him down there as an All-Star. And then in right field, All-Star for the 1960 American League team would be Roger Maris. The center field, as I said, would be Mickey Mantle of the Yankees. And the left fielder would be Ted Williams of the Boston Red Sox. The pitchers would be Whitey Ford and Early Wynn. And I'm still thinking they're still playing. And the starting lineup for the 1960 National League team.
You want me to give you the lineups? I got them.
Yeah, let's see if I hit any of them. Let's see if I hit any of them.
I don't understand. Back in 1960, they played at 2 different parks.
Yeah, they played
at National League 1, 5 to 3 in Municipal Stadium in Kansas City.
Yeah, they started doing that, playing 2 games instead of 1.
Winning pitcher was Bob Friend.
Played for
and
Pittsburgh.
Then 2 days later, the National League won 6-0 in Yankee Stadium, and the winning pitcher was Bern Law.
Yeah.
Losing pitcher was Whitey Ford.
Yeah. Well, see, I was right on.
So the American League All-Star roster Reynoso, Chicago.
Played right field. I reckon I didn't know he was an all-star. And what year is that?
You said you wanted the year was 1960.
Yeah, okay. He got hit. He got hit by a pitch more than anybody in baseball history. He played with the White Sox.
George A. Bell, Cleveland.
George Bell, I don't even know who he is. I hardly even know I've ever heard of him. George Bell. All right, go ahead.
Louis Aparicio, Chicago.
Oh, yeah, I should have known that. Aparicio and the combination of Louis Aparicio and Nellie Fox were one of the best in the history of baseball, but I can understand it. Aparicio, great
This is the American League All-Star roster, 1960. Mike Amos threw out some names. Jerry Staley, Chicago.
Never heard of Jerry Staley. Never even heard of him.
Dick Stigman, Cleveland.
Never even heard of Dick Stigman. I've never heard of these guys, Mike.
Well, you got to think there's a lot of great players.
I've never heard of Dick Stigman ever.
Yogi Berra, you ever heard of him?
Yeah, he was on that list I gave you.
Jim Coates, New York.
Jim Coates, was he pitching for the Yankees?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, big, tall pitcher. Okay.
This guy, they didn't even list the team. I guess he played for somebody. Bud Daly.
He was a pitcher, I think.
Chuck Estrada, Baltimore.
Yeah, Estrada was a young pitcher.
Whitey Ford, New York.
I had that one right.
Nellie Fox, Chicago.
So they gave it to Nellie Fox, the Chicago White Sox Keystone combo.
This is the whole roster.
What?
This is everybody that made the All-Star team.
All right. Who else?
Jim Gentile.
Yeah, I was right. I said Jim Gentile.
Baltimore. Ron Hansen, Baltimore.
All right.
Elston Howard, New York.
Elston Howard was the backup catcher to Yogi Berra, and both of them made the. No, Yogi Berra didn't make it though, did he?
Yeah, both of them made it.
All right, can you believe that? Now, Yogi played some left field when he wasn't catching.
Al Kaline, Detroit.
Right fielder, a great right fielder.
Never heard of this guy. Harvey Kuhn, Cleveland.
Oh, great second baseman for Detroit, Harvey Keene.
Frank Larry, Detroit.
Frank Larry, the Yankee killer, Mike. He was the Yankee killer. He was from Alabama, too. He's from, what's the town north of, he was from Northport. The Northport, he beat the Yankees more than anybody.
Jim Lemon.
Jim Lemon pitched with that great Cleveland team that Early Wynn played on.
Chicago's Sherm Lawler.
Sherm Lawler was the catcher for Chicago.
Frank Malzahn, Boston.
The great third baseman from Boston, Frank Malzahn, yeah.
Some guy named Mickey Mantle, New York.
Mickey Mantle, number 7, was my hero.
Some guy named Roger Maris, New York.
And Roger Maris, the right fielder. So the Yankees had.
You might have to help me with this name. Bill Monteviquet.
Oh, great! The great Bill Monteviquet. Bill Monteviquet was a pitcher with the Boston Red Sox. Camilo Pascual, the great pitcher, the great curveball pitcher out of Minnesota. He played for the Washington Senators and then later the Minnesota Twins. He had the best curveball, a lot of people say, in Major League Baseball history.
This is the 1960 All-Star rosters, National and American League.
All right, let me see what I can do for the National League.
Vic Power, Cleveland.
All right, let me do this. Let me call him out first.
Let me finish the rest of the American League. We're almost done.
I didn't know you did. I didn't know you had finished. I thought you'd already finished it.
No, I hadn't finished. Vic Power, Cleveland. Who was Vic Power?
I remember. I want to say he was a catcher.
Joel Amos.
For Cleveland, he should know him, but he wasn't a household word. I promise.
A guy named Brooks Robinson, Baltimore.
The great third baseman, Brooks Robinson. A lot of people say the greatest third baseman to ever live.
Then a guy named Pete Runnels, Boston.
Pete Runnels played with Boston. A little second baseman, I think.
Bill Skowron, New York.
Yeah, the great Yankee first baseman, Bill Skowron.
A guy named Al Smith with Chicago.
Al Smith played left field for the Chicago White Sox, and earlier played with Cleveland.
Some guy I've never heard of, Ted Williams, Boston.
The great Ted Williams, the splendid splinter, considered the greatest hitter by some people.
Last person, probably the only person
greatest
hit
hitter that ever lived.
And then it finished with the great Early Wynn, Chicago. Chicago.
Yeah, you're right. Ted Williams is the only batter we know that was last batter to bat 400. And what Early Wynn was last one?
Early Wynn's from Alabama too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's from Hartford. And did he start that game?
I didn't say if he started, but he was on the roster.
Yeah, so he was on the roster. Gosh, how many guys?
That's the American League All-Star 1960. National League, if you want to go ahead and pick some names, I'll read them to you afterwards.
Willie Mays in center field. One of the pitchers was Koufax. Red Shane-Dinks was the second. Wait a minute. Al Dark was the shortstop. Red Shane-Dinks was the second baseman for the. Let's see. We're talking about the National League. The right fielder was played with the New York Giants. Orlando Cepeda. Orlando Cepeda was the right fielder, or excuse me, playing first base. Gosh, this is sort of tough a little bit.
Well, you hadn't named the...
Ken Boyer was the third baseman.
You hadn't named the greatest home run hitter of all time from Mobile.
Oh, yeah, Hank Aaron was left fielder, and, of course, Lou Burdett was on that team. Warren Spahn with Milwaukee was on that team. The great third baseman Eddie Matthews was on that team. Let's see, Don Drysdale was on that team. Let's see, Johnny Logan, the second baseman, was on that team. The great home run hitter for the New York Giants. Who was that guy? Big guy.
You talking about Willie McCovey?
Willie McCovey. You're exactly right. You must have been looking at him. And
looking at all the names, but he's not on there.
Okay, all right. Let's.
Here's your 1960.
Johnny Antonelli. Johnny Antonelli was another one of those pitchers.
All right, Hank Aaron.
Hank Aaron, I got that.
Joe Adcock.
A first baseman with Milwaukee, hit 4 home runs in a game. Personal friends of the Murphy girl here in town. They traded horses over in Louisiana. Go ahead.
Taylor, Philadelphia.
All right, who?
Tony Taylor, Philadelphia.
I remember him, but I wouldn't have named him.
Ed Bailey, Cincinnati.
I wouldn't have named him.
Ernie Banks, Chicago.
Gosh, I should have named the great Chicago Cubs shortstop Ernie Banks.
Ken Boyer, St. Louis.
Got him right.
Bob Buell.
Bob Buell was one of those Milwaukee Brave pitchers.
This is my favorite name so far, Smokey Burgess.
Smokey Burgess with the Cincinnati, a catcher.
He's with Pittsburgh.
All right, Pittsburgh was catcher.
You named this guy already, Orlando Cepeda, San Francisco.
Okay.
This guy's one of the all-time greats. Unfortunately, died in a tragic plane crash.
Wait a minute now. Let me get this now. Died in a plane crash. Oh, the great New York Yankee player.
No, the great Pittsburgh player.
Pittsburgh player. Wait a minute. Clemente, yeah, Roberto. Oh, yeah, one of the great players of all time. I should have hit him right off the bat.
This name sounds familiar. Dale Crandall.
Dale Crandall was the catcher for the Milwaukee Braves.
Roy Face.
Elroy Face, known for the forkball. He was a relief pitcher with the Yankees and the Cleveland Indians. No, Pittsburgh. Bob Friend was a great Pittsburgh pitcher.
A guy named Dick Grote, Pittsburgh.
Great second baseman. Let me tell you about these guys. Great second baseman. The shortstop was Grote was the shortstop for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and the second baseman was Bill Mazeroski. All right, Grote was a number 2 hitter in the lineup, and he was known for hitting the ball behind the runner. That used to be a big thing, Mike, to hit the ball behind the runner, and he would. Sometimes I think he broke a record. He fouled the ball off 9 times straight. He fouled the ball off. That's quite an accomplishment. Go ahead. Hello. Maybe we lost him.
No, I'm on. Just 1 second.
All right, go ahead.
Had to get told to your granddaughter real quick.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Let's see. So he left off at Dick Road. We got Bill Henry, Cincinnati.
Can't even hardly remember Bill Henry. Gosh, who is he? Go
I
ahead.
don't know. This is 1960 National League All-Star team. Larry Jackson, St. Louis.
Hardly remember Larry Jackson.
Norm Locker,
Yeah,
L.A.
I remember Norm Locker.
Vern Law, Pittsburgh.
Played center field for Pittsburgh.
Eddie Matthews.
Eddie Matthews, a great home run hitter with the Milwaukee Braves.
Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid.
The Say Hey Kid, one of the greatest players of all time.
This guy hit one of the most legendary home runs of all time, played for Pittsburgh.
Oh, Mazeroski hit the home run against the Yankees.
Bill Magarowski.
Off Bob Terry, what was his name?
Mike McCormick, San Francisco.
I can hardly remember him.
Lindy McDaniel, St. Louis.
Lindy McDaniel, great left-handed pitcher. He had a brother, listen to this, he had a brother named Vaughn McDaniel that played in the major leagues when he was 16 years old. Can you believe that? With the Cardinals.
Stan the Man Musial, St. Louis.
One of the greatest players of all time, Stan the Man Musial for St. Louis.
Charlie Neal, L.A.
Charlie Neal played second base for Los Angeles.
Veda Pinson, Cincinnati.
Veda Pinson, the speedster. Veda Pinson played in the outfield for Cincinnati.
Johnny Padres,
Johnny
Los Angeles.
Padres, another one of those great Los Angeles Dodgers pitchers.
Bob Skinner, Pittsburgh.
Bob Skinner was a big first baseman or right fielder with the Pirates.
And then a guy named Bill White, St. Louis.
Bill White, later on played with the Yankees.
And then another guy named Stan Williams, Los Angeles.
Can hardly remember Stan Williams. Anybody else?
That's it, man. That's your American League and National League All-Star. I hope everybody's enjoying going back to the 1960s.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Now I'm gonna go back to the '60s in music. Ain't too proud to beg.
That's quite a group of guys there.
Yeah, and it's fun to go through there and pick some of them, and but I can remember though the heyday, the great player like a guy like Ken Boyer, but then right behind him was Eddie Matthews. Those were two great players. Of course, Boyer played with the St. Louis team, and he had a brother that played for another team. Do you know who that was?
His name was Clete Boyer.
How'd you know that?
I just know random stuff, man.
No, was you looking at something, or did you know that by heart?
I just knew that off the top of my head.
All right, you're right. Clete Boyer was the third baseman with the Yankees. And then before him was Gil McDougall. And what did Gil McDougall do that was very well known?
I did not know that.
He hit a line drive, and he hit a guy in the face with it. You know who that was?
No, I don't know who that was. That happens a lot, unfortunately.
No, it doesn't happen that much. That's what really is amazing. It ruined this guy's career.
It happens every year to somebody gets hit in the head. Braves, one of their top relief pitchers, Sean Newcomb, used to be a great starter, got hit in the face already this year.
This guy could have been another Bob Fella who pitched with the Cleveland Indians. His name was Herb Score, and he was a great left-handed pitcher, and he struck out 250 people in one season. But
where will you be? One of the biggest sporting events in the world will take place today, the Women's World Cup, USA versus France at 2 p.m. Central. Will you watch?
I'm going to be glued to a television somewhere to watch that.
There's a lot of fanatic soccer fans, so I would imagine a lot of people will be watching that today.
Yeah, just think how big it is, no question about it. And the World Cup. So the United States, have they been beat at all?
No, they're undefeated.
So, and of course, they're
the favorites. They won it last year.
Yeah, the defending
champion.
champion.
Not last year, but I think they played every 4 years, maybe.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be quite a match, no question about it. And so we're down to the finals, is that right?
Quarterfinals.
And where are they playing?
I don't know where they're playing. I'll have to look and see.
At Montpellier, France, I think.
Yeah, well, they're playing France today. I don't know, man. They are playing in France.
Yeah. All right, the Senior U.S. Open, Mike, is...
that went on yesterday. I'll have to look at some scores.
And you know where the golf course is they're playing? They're playing South Bend.
I don't know. Where are they playing?
They're playing South Bend, Indiana, the home of the Notre Dame. I think it's on the, well, and listen to this. It's on the rain-softened Warren Golf Course at Notre Dame. So it's located, that golf course is located on the campus at Notre Dame University, Mike.
That's cool.
Isn't that amazing? And I've never heard of that before. Stricker and Tom's, two of my favorite older players, are in the lead.
Yeah, Stricker, I think, is going to tear it up on the senior tour. He already won the Regents Tradition this year, so and he almost won last week. Yeah, you got Tom Stricker, Kurt Triplett, Jerry Kelly, BJ Singh's 5 under. Retief Goosen's in that league now, so he's 4 under. Your favorite golfer, Miguel Elhen Jimenez.
Oh, man, don't be telling people that now. I don't like him.
And then your buddy who you've talked to personally before, Bernhard Langer, the greatest.
Bernhard Langer and I are big friends. What is he known for, Mike?
Winning the Masters twice?
Yes. Let's see how well you know golfers, Mike.
Bernhard Langer also is a big Mercedes guy, and I know him and Saban like to play together when they play at the Regents Tradition. Langer is a guy, though, that has really been phenomenal, though, on the senior tour. I mean, he's won so many tournaments. I think him and Hale Irwin have won the most senior tournaments of all time.
And what was special about Hale Irwin?
He played college football at Colorado, and he won the U.S. Open 3 times.
That's right. He was a defensive back at Colorado in the Big Ten.
You know, I was fortunate enough to be around a lot of these golfers in Birmingham. My sister was the marketing director for the Bruno's event team, so they put on the Regents Charity Classic every year, and it was at Greystone, and then it was at Ross Bridge, and it was at, different locations, Shoal Creek as well. Actually, Shoal Creek was one of my favorites when I got to go out there, but, I was able to just go to parties and dinners and go into the clubhouse.
Well, I remember
side by side with all these golfing greats. It was pretty unique.
We were able to actually eat where the players eat.
I remember one night Curtis Strange handed me my beer.
Yeah, exactly. Want to mention Lawrence Hardware this morning, and of course, great people, and appreciate them. Let's see if JB's in. Mike, I'm gonna put you on hold a minute. Let's see if we can pick up JB. That number is 672-0643. Let's see if we can pick up JB Roberts at Lawrence Hardware this morning. And
hello?
JB Roberts, this is Mike Amos calling from today in L.A. How you doing?
Mike, how you doing this morning?
Tell me what's going on now. Next week, I hope you're going to be able to tell everybody I'm eating donuts, because I'm going to donate you some donuts, and you're going to have to come up with a coffee machine, and you need to serve donuts and coffee and get folks in your hardware store.
That sounds perfect. I don't know many people who don't like donuts and coffee, so.
Well, everybody is still talking about you, JB, and I'm going to see if I can bring my son on. Are we interrupting business?
No, you're good. We're good to go.
Hold on a second. I'm going to put you on hold. And now I'm going to try to bring both of you in. And if I can, it'll be a miracle. All right, one more. I thought I had it that time. There we go. Okay, Mike, are you on? JB, you on? You still on? JB Roberts? There he is right here. JB. Hey, JB. Oh, boy. Might have lost both of them.
You got me.
I got you, and I was trying to get JB, and I lost him, Mike. I'm going to call him back. I'll be right back. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Tori Dunn from Dixie Trails. You get your truck washed here?
I sure do.
Millie Johnson. I know you're not bringing them cow trucks, okay?
I do, and they're like me when I leave.
Loretta, what are you doing?
Getting my car detailed.
At Trojan Detail, we do it all.
I love my job. We get to help people who are having the worst day of their life.
You just got to be ready for whatever hits.
She wasn't breathing. She was almost dead.
Stay still there. Stay still. It's fine.
The ring, I hope I'm not messing anything up.
No, you're not at all.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, talking to J.B. Roberts, Vice President for Lawrence Hardware on South Brunny Street right here in Troy, and established in 1946, so it's been around a long time.
Yes, sir. We've been around a while, and just building on the tradition that Mr. Lawrence and Mr. John Weave created, and looking forward to a bright future.
And of course, you're bringing new items into the store every day, and you're identifying new parts and hardware goods every day. Is that right?
That's right. We're trying to look at the market. We're going to different shows that show us new products, and we're also trying to listen to the public and listen to our customers about filling the needs of the community.
Oh, exactly. And if you're driving down the road today and want to meet JB, I tell you, JB Roberts is a fine young man and a great hardware store, and we're going to be coming in there and seeing you soon. And of course, I know you're open what time, from 7 o'clock till 5 o'clock, is that right?
7 o'clock to 5 o'clock, Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday, are not open on Saturday, is that right?
Not open, yes, sir.
All right, JB, and I've heard a lot about you since you were on my show, and my son said he's got a couple of your albums, and and he also said back when you were playing, nobody even knew who the Park Band was. Is that right?
I think back when I was playing, those guys were really, really young. I can remember, Tucker being a real young man when I was, I guess, in my heyday.
Yeah. Now, when you went to Nashville, you later went to Nashville, and did you ever meet any of the big names up there?
I rubbed shoulders with some. My time in Nashville was brief, and it was hard to get several days in a row to network in Nashville because I was always playing gigs. Mike, I played 5 to 6 nights a week all over the southeast of the United States. So I was in and out of Nashville, but I did. I came in touch with record labels, and the Lord just had something different for me, which actually ended up better than anything that I had dreamed of.
I know, and I understand now. Where are you going to church Sunday?
I'll be at Troy Church. We're going to be doing the music at Troy Church at Charles Henderson High School at 10 o'clock in the morning.
And you'll be doing the music, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Tell you what, I might run over there and see you. It's very convenient, and it's now located in the cafetorium. Is that right? Cafetorium at Charles Henderson. Is that right?
Mr. Mike, that is exactly right.
All right, we'll see you at 10 o'clock Sunday morning, my friend.
Sounds great. Thanks for calling.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. That's J.B. Roberts, the owner of Lawrence Hardware, fine young man, and we wanted to give him a ring this morning, a shout-out, what they call a shout-out. Of course, it is now 8:07. We were talking about the, Scott, if you're around up there, we were talking about Troy University's new football field. They're changing the carpet there, or the all-weather flooring there to Veterans Park or Veterans Stadium, and they're going to have a new color. They're going to have red end zones. Have we got a picture of that, Scott? Scott, I don't know if he's here yet or not, but when he does get here, we're going to show that picture. Want to mention Hook's Barbecue. Boy, some of the great barbecue you'll find anywhere is at Hook's, and we appreciate them being a part of our show. And if you want to have a party catered, it's some of the easiest people to deal with. I mean, they'll give you the barbecue, they'll give you the baked beans or the potato salad and the buns, and all you got to do is have a table there to put it on, and you're ready to go. And of course, you know, they've got delicious barbecue, and then of course you have your bread for your sandwiches, or you might just want to eat the barbecue with potato salad and baked beans. I love their baked beans. Let me tell you, it's just a great place to eat. I want to mention Max Federal Credit Union on the bypass, and also want to mention, ladies and gentlemen, some great people, and that's my friends at Piggly Wiggly on South 39th Street, right here in Troy, and also the Marketplace Shopping Center. Steve Garrett and I are very good friends. Their meat department is outstanding. Their vegetable and fruit department is outstanding. I love the way they cut a cantaloupe. They cut a cantaloupe in slices, so you don't have to do anything, and it's the same reasonable price. Then you go home and you take that cantaloupe and you put a bunch of pepper on it. Put pepper all over that cantaloupe, and you got something good to eat, believe you me, at Piggly Wiggly right here in Troy. Of course, football season is just around the corner, and Mike Amos, who we're expecting to come back in a few moments, will give us more of a rundown. But of course, with Auburn in the situation of who's going to be their quarterback, so going into the fall practices, that will be something very interesting for Auburn fans to look at. Alabama, believe it or not, has a starting quarterback, but a backup is not real, or two freshmen. So that's not what you call solid. But they also have another kid that is from Bowles High School in Jacksonville, Florida, who is another one of the quarterbacks. Jones, I believe is his name. Then Georgia, they're down to one quarterback that's got any experience. So if they have an injury to their quarterback, it could be tough. Let's see if we can show that field.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
In about 2 minutes, we're going to show you the new Troy University football field. It's not down yet. They're still working on it, but I'll show you a picture of it right here on our screen. I think you'll enjoy it. What I'm excited about is those red end zones. It adds a lot of color to the stadium. It was sort of a blah look for the last 8 years, but now they've gone back to the red end zone like they did before, or crimson, or really what it is cardinal, and it'll give you a look. And also, I love the way they do the grass. They have a light grass and a dark grass, light grass, and it's a beautiful look. I've seen that several times on other fields, and I think you're going to really like that quite a bit too. So let's go to it. Let's see what we got. We're still waiting for it. Health Actions is where I go for rehab, and great people, professional people, located on Highway 231 South, right after you go by. Well, it's actually before you get to the Troy Regional Medical Center, which congratulations to them celebrating 50 years of service to Troy and Pike County, Troy Regional Medical Center. I want to mention our good friends at A1 Service, and he's been to my house 2 or 3 times this past week, to fix my air conditioning. And thank goodness I live in a 2-story house where at the basement, there we go, the basement had the air and the upstairs didn't. But here is the look of the new field. Now, let's see. All right, now we're going to get into the real colorful look of the end zone. But this is where it's going to be. You see how those grasses are dark and light, dark and light. There's the Trojan Power T. And then there's Larry Blakeney's name there. And we'll be moving it on, and we're going to show you the red end zone. There it is right there. Look. There's the red end zone with Troy. And then the other end zone will say Trojans. And, of course, that's a good-looking look. And you can see it'll be a very colorful-looking football field with the big power tee. And also there'll be some swords, cross swords, and so forth. Let's see if we can see that other end zone. I don't know if you can do that or not, but we'll try to get over to the other end zone. Troy in the north end of the field, red with red, and that'll where it'll look right there. And now we've got Ideal Graphics, and we appreciate them very much. But evidently we were unable to show you the other end zone. Maybe we can get it in a second. The other end zone, which is also very colorful. But to have the Cardinal end zones with the on-off light, dark field. And, of course, we also want to mention our good friends at Southeast Alabama Gas District with home headquarters in Andalusia. And also my good friend Garnet Rigsby at Jim Skinner Honda in Dothan. Garnet Rigsby's been around a long time. Great friend of mine, great service they'll give you at Jim Skinner Ford. I want to mention also Maxwell Federal Credit Union. Appreciate them. And also our good friends at First National Bank of Troy Brundage, celebrating since 1904. They've been around 95 years. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Oh gosh, would it be 95? Let's see. They started in 04. That was that was 100 years. They started in 1904, and let's see, it's 1919 now. So do the math. At 96 and 19, and that's been around a long time. And Mr. John Ramage started that bank back in 1904, and it's been a Ramage running it ever since. And John Ramage is now the new CEO and president of First National Bank of Troy Brundage. There it is, Troy Regional Medical Center, serving the people of Troy and Pike County for 50 years, and we appreciate them. And also First Cahaba Bank, located on the corner of Johnny Worthington Avenue and Publix Boulevard. A beautiful, beautiful new bank right here in Troy, and we appreciate them, as we do Bill Jackson Chevrolet. Now we've got Bill Jackson Chevrolet, and right across the street we got Bill Jackson Ford. Which one do you want, a Chevrolet or a Ford? A Chevrolet or Ford. You can't go wrong with either one of them. So there's going to be a lot of driving back and forth, just trying to decide on which beautiful truck or which beautiful car we want, a Ford or a Chevrolet. I'll tell you this, both of them are great. Both of them, the trucks are great. The cars are great. It's just a great selection of cars at Bill Jackson Chevrolet and now Bill Jackson Ford on the bypass right here in Troy. If we could go back to the field, is there any way to go back to the field? I don't know if it is or not, but we'll try to pick up the other end zone. But it is a colorful field. It'll be ready, should be ready by August the 1st, hopefully, and maybe even sooner than that. I want to mention Dalco Rentals, located in Enterprise. They'll be up and early up early tomorrow. There we go. There we go. And that's the way it looked in the south end zone. Trojans on that red surface. Boy, that Trojans is awfully bold. So it's going to really show up. And then Troy at the other end. And on TV, on national TV, how do you think that looked? I think it looked pretty good. And then the on-off colors on the grass, I like that too. So, of course, it's artificial, but it is going to be very nice, and it is just different colors, but I think it's going to be a very good-looking field with Troy Trojans and now the big Power T, which is their logo now. So I'm not crazy about the Power T, but that's our logo now, the Power T of Troy University. And again, Scott, I appreciate you showing that. Veterans Memorial Stadium in Troy, Alabama, where their first game will be against Campbell University of North Carolina. And our second game of the season pits the Troy Trojans against the Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles from right there in that stadium, Veterans Memorial Stadium in Troy. We'll be back to more of Today in L.A. after this.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you were out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance. Whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies, Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
Hey folks, are you tired of spending hard-earned money on a gas grill only to have it burn up in less than 2 years? Not to mention burning your food. Here at Southern Grill and Patio in Troy, Alabama, we carry the Holland Grill line. They've been around since 1988, and there are people right here in Troy that have had theirs for over 20 years. These grills are guaranteed not to flare up. You can grill, steam, or smoke on your new Holland Grill today. Come see us at Southern Grill and Patio in Troy, Alabama, inside Town & Country Flooring Center.
Do you want a good truck driving job? Do you want to drive for the best? Then drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We have good benefits. We have good home time. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield. We match your 401k up to 4%. You can start in the 401k retirement plan after 30 days of employment. You need to drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. It's time for you to think about you and your family's future. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. $1,000 sign-on bonus? These guys did.
Back to our show, and of course, a good picture here of my very good friend Cheryl Crow right there in the middle there, accepting an award, serving. He's been the chairman of the board at Troy Regional Medical Center for a long time, and we've appreciated his service so well, and he's one of the guys that have made. There he is, right there in the middle, right here, right there in the middle, and. He is one of the reasons why Troy Regional Medical Center is so dynamic as it is today, and what a great hospital at our level as far as size of our community. And we appreciate so much what Cheryl Crow has done. Also, as chairman of the board at Troy Bank and Trust Company, everything he's been associated with in his business career, he has been outstanding in it. He was a former All-State basketball and football player at Old Troy High School, and I used to watch him play, and I was in the gym one night where he scored 33 points, and that record stayed at Charles Simpson until Steve McMillan broke it back in '64. But, of course, Cheryl Crow was a great athlete. He didn't play football until his senior year, and he made first team All-State. And a compliment that he was given one time by Shug Jordan was, Shug Jordan says, we want him to come to Auburn. He reminds me of Raymond Berry. And he was about 6'4", 6'5", wide receiver with great hands. And Shug Jordan, the late, great football coach at Auburn, says, we want him to come and play football for us because he reminds me of the great Raymond Berry, who was Johnny Unitas' best receiver or favorite receiver for so many years with Baltimore Colts. But we're also proud of Ronnie and all the great people that represent the Edge Regional Medical Center. And, of course, they also wanted to honor Miss Rose Lee Boswell, also Jimmy Law, and some of the people that have been around such a long time and supporting the program, and we appreciate them very much. Also, we want to mention that Edge Regional Medical Center has been there for 50 years. And, of course, Karen Herring is the director of marketing, and she does a great job. And any questions that you would have about Troy Regional Medical Center, contact Karen Herring, and she's an outstanding member of that team. Kimber nears Phase 2. After a year of construction, Kimber is nearly ready to move into the new portion of the facility and begin Phase 2 of the company's plans to employ more than 360 people in the next 3 years. And it's very exciting, said Scott Moore, the owner of Kemper Manufacturing, or excuse me, the vice president of Kemper Manufacturing. And, of course, they manufacture guns, and the manufacturer has gradually scaling up production out of the 50,000 square foot spec building, and now another building, 175 square feet facility, also being constructed, and they're ready to go. In fact, something that I was reading on the back part of this is that Kimber, the plant has already started. The plant is already assembling about half of all the guns here in Troy. And Moore said the facility should be assembling all guns by the end of September. So that is great. The city of Troy offered Kimber over $24 million in incentives to locate in Troy. And, of course, in return, Kemper has promised to create at least 366 jobs and invest over $38 million on the economy. Scott, what's your plan for the weekend, man?
I guess get ready for the 4th of July.
Get ready for the 4th of July. Are you going to film the Brundage Parade in the morning?
Yeah, we got somebody who's going to be doing that.
Of course, that's a big parade, and it should be a lot of fun. You got anybody commentating on it?
We do not yet, unless you want to.
Well, if I'm out and about, I sure will.
Okay, we'll make that
all right. Okay, good deal. Want to mention also, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go to Brundage tomorrow, I think it starts at 9, I want to say. I could be wrong. But always one of the great highlights to the 4th of July season is to go to Brundage for their Independence Day parade, which is wonderful. And you talk about saluting the American flag, you do that all morning long because you see flags everywhere on Main Street in downtown Brundage, and we hope to see some of you folks down there tomorrow. You folks in Ozark lost a very good friend, not Don, but Don's brother, Odie Marshall. My good friend Odie Marshall has died in Ozark. And of course, was a great friend of mine, and for a long time, former Auburn University graduate, and had lived in Ozark with his wife Erlena, and Erlena, what a great teacher she is down there. And then they had twin girls and another boy, and great people, the Marshalls from Ozark, and our prayers and our thoughts go out to the family today, and we'll be thinking about you, and hopefully we'll get down there to see you before all this is over. Of course, we are looking at the Messenger this morning, and their baseball tournaments, as we mentioned at the first of the show, that the Darlings of Troy finished second place, and they'll be going to Decatur, Alabama. Also, we'll have a cakes auction on, it'll be on Tuesday, and what group is that, do you know? But I'm thinking that is...
12 and under baseball.
12 and under baseball. 12 and under baseball's got a cake sale next week, and we've got another group wanting to do it. I don't know if we can fit them in, but if we can, we will, to help raise some money for their travel to all these places for the state tournament. We're awfully proud of our local recreation programs, and we appreciate so much our sponsors here on this show. It's going to be a hot weekend. Do your work outside from, say, 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock. Then you won't worry about the heat as much. And then go back and get under that air conditioning, and, hey, have a great weekend. We'll see you bright and early in the morning, Monday morning, right here on TV2, Troy Cable Channel 2, on your dial, Facebook across the country, Facebook across the world. Hope to see you soon.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance. Whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies, Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.